strongly the foreign recruitment agencies, particularly recruiting white-collar job personnel in Zimbabwe, saying that is crippling the health sector in particular of Zimbabwe, saying Zimbabwe trains nurses for its economy or for its actually hospitals, and then these hospitals, these individuals are recruited by foreign agencies to work as slaves outside the country. But the question is, why would this? Because it's the nurses that approaches these recruitment companies, and definitely also the recruitment companies offers better than what nurses are offered in Zimbabwe. We've seen nurses standing up against what they are being offered in Zimbabwe, unless and until the government make sure that they treat also nurses with dignity in Zimbabwe, not as slaves. I think this problem on its own, it will solve itself. Actually, Zimbabwe exists in a global economy. It is expected to compete with all countries in this global economy. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let me actually play the video of Chiwenga making these assertions.
Protection, that's a crime against humanity. If people die in hospitals because there are no nurses and doctors, and somebody who has been so irresponsible of not training their own nationals, but wanting poor countries to train for them, that's a crime. That must be taken seriously. The blatant white-collar crime by people who will be masquerading as recruiting professionals from Zimbabwe. If one deliberately recruits and makes the country suffer because it lacks the required professionals, that's a crime. So I hope our team will look at all these areas and address and make sure there is watertight protection of our people, of our citizens. Gone are the days slavery ended, and us being subjugated as a people ended in 1980 when we attained our independence. We will build our own Zimbabwe. We are capable. Why should we go and labor for other people? Instead, we should labor for our own country. So Zimbabweans, let's all unite and work to build the Zimbabwe that we want.
So that's retired General Chiwenga criticizing foreign agencies for recruiting nurses in Zimbabwe. But as I have said that I think the foreign agencies exist. The nurses approach them based on what they are getting at the moment. It is also important for the ZANU-PF government, in order to keep the nurses within the borders of Zimbabwe, to also offer them decent salaries, not to turn them into local slaves. There is a reason why nurses will actually opt to go out of the country. And I strongly believe also there is a reason why Zimbabweans, in fact, not generally nursing, but Zimbabwean professionals, various professionals, will actually prefer to go outside the country, because they are earning far much better than what is being given to the civil servants. For example, in Zimbabwe, they are earning peanuts, and you don't expect these people to stay in such kind of a country. I am of the firm opinion that if the government's role is to train nurses, of course, allow institutions that train as much as possible nurses, but also if they cannot treat those nurses well, don't expect them to be in a position to deliver services and also to stay in a country suffering for the longest period. They would rather opt to be slaves outside the country where they are given, they are actually better slaves. You know, I've always told people that as long as you are a worker, you are treated like a slave, no matter how much you get. You see, because I mean, there is no employer who will always prioritize your interest. That is what I have noted in this world. So to work for your own, to create your own business, people to think around entrepreneurship, and also the government must reward their nurses. Zimbabwean nurses, they were protesting some days ago, and it doesn't mean they are working at the moment because they want. They are still getting peanuts. Their challenges are not adequately addressed. I mean, if there is an opportunity outside to be given about $2,000 per month, definitely they will opt for that opportunity. National development, of course, is a national goal. They will speak of patriotism, but you can't eat patriotism. You need to feed your family. You need to work, especially when you are trained for that job, when you are skilled at that job. You need to be able to afford your transport. You need to be able to be actually to take your children to schools. You need to be able to live normally like any other human being. When you are given money that cannot even sustain your transport for the rest of the month as your salary, then if an opportunity unveils itself, you know, Zimbabwe should also be in a position to compete with other countries. Foreign agencies will always exist. I mean, there is absolutely not, because it's people who chooses those foreign agencies. Some of them cannot even exist within Zimbabwe. They can exist outside the borders. Now there is internet. You can simply apply over the internet and make arrangements and leave the country. Remember, it's an individual and personal decision to do so. How can the government control such by offering our nurses, our teachers, our doctors, our all professionals that matter, our engineers in various facets, and also, you see, I know of many nurses who trained and qualified, but to be employed, some will stay at home for more than 3 years or so. To think that person can, because that person, the parents expect after taking him or her to school to also be in a position to be independent and assist parents. You know, that's the way we are in Africa. You are invested upon so that you can potentially invest to others. So you can't curtail that through a law that will actually say, no, we don't want foreign agencies to exist whilst you are mistreating your nurses. It doesn't work that way. Pay your nurses, make them happy. I mean, when you are paid well in any job, you actually work with a passion. There is no need for someone else to force you. That job, you make sure that you keep it as much as possible, and you make sure that you deliver efficient services because you are well rewarded. So on general, actually saying they will just proposing laws to stop foreign agencies without properly paying their civil servants. It won't work. It won't work per se. Yes, they can call for unity. People should actually buy this unity call. which also benefit. You know, it's easier to say something if you are not at the receiving end. I understand how the nurses are feeling because I've worked in Zimbabwe and you are earning the money that can only pay your rent. You cannot even think about buying your own house as long as you work in these institutions. You cannot even think of taking your children to a private, better education than what actually you grew up subjected to. Definitely, if there is an opportunity that will unveil and make these dreams to be a reality, you tend to take that opportunity. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Wakangubu Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give you